the hottest pop culture stories of the day, like Justin Bieber is making an album that no one is asking for. Speaking of music, Lady Gaga cancels show last minute because her voice is shot. This is Hot to Go. I'm Brittany.
I'm Kendall.
And I'm Mike.
And here we are in Justin Bieber world wondering why we're making another album that nobody cares about. Word on the street is you'd think that there'd be more people talking about it, but we have Swag. Swag is the album that he released and we thought was not great. There was one good song, Daisies, we all agreed.
And Yukon. We like Yukon.
There was one good song. It was called Daisies.
It's called Daisies. I agree. I've never listened to Yukon again. I'll say that. So that was just about 2 months ago. He dropped his 7th studio album. Well, Justin Bieber has already made a follow-up. He announced that Swag 2 will be released this week at midnight, tonight at midnight, and it will be amazing. He's very excited about it. But I'm telling you this as somebody who's connected to a lot of different places that would inundate me with knowing this knowledge. This wasn't on the front headline of anything.
No, you had to kind of dig, which is wild because it's a Justin Bieber album part 2.
Yeah.
When Taylor Swift does this, it's all we're all talking about.
Yes.
And I'm not even talking about the three of us or our own circles. I'm talking about the gossip rags. Like, this is a publication front page newspaper thing. Justin Bieber releasing part 2 of his album. The fact that you have to scroll to find that's a terrible sign. I agree.
It says a lot, Kendall. And, there's a lot of conversations in this world where he was contractually obligated to create a certain amount of songs, a certain amount of albums, especially to pay back things and loans that came his way from his record label. People are talking about, is this just another kind of check on the box of things that he had to do to pay back his label? Which it feels like it. The songs are not great.
They're mid.
There's a lot of sketches. There's just he seems to be surrounded now with a lot of yes people, a lot of people that are like, this would be a fun idea. You're creative enough to just like talk on your album. To which I say you are not.
You're not.
You're not.
That is not what we need Justin Bieber for.
No.
Introspectives in the middle, like interludes. No, we don't need that. We need a pop album.
Yeah, we do. And I fear that this is not one.
Quinn, whom we all know and love, we call him Quintern on this show. But really, in the reality of it all is that he has his own office and he runs all of our YouTube and social media accounts. So if you're watching this on YouTube right now, hi, Quinn, give him a shout out. This is how he put it, and it was so eloquently done. He said, was the plan to put out 2 lackluster bodies of music the whole time, or did he just want more streams? And the way he said 2 lackluster bodies of music, I was like, ouch, but like, chef's kiss, sir.
It's hard because you already have people that want to love you. I actually do love Justin Bieber songs.
Right.
And I'm a pop girl through and through. I listened to this album begging for him to give me something.
Right.
And nothing was given. I hope Swag 2 has the pop song we've all wanted.
That's what I'm saying. Like, we have to kind of give space and let us know that there's an opportunity. He was just like, I'm going to do my artistic side.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to do what everybody was looking for when he was over there in Iceland making this album, because clearly he made both of these at the same time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a place where Swag 2 is the pop jams that we were looking for.
And you're right, Mike.
Possible.
But it does lead me back to he's surrounded by awful people, because then that should have been the first album. If that's true.
Or did he feel like, oh, they're never going to take my artistic side seriously if I drop all these bangers right away?
We wouldn't have.
Dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Lead with
advocate. I do not think this is going to be a good album at all, to be clear.
Like, don't give me the bun and the burger all different times. I don't even know which is the better one. It depends on how good the bun is. But it doesn't make any sense. And he's around people who, I don't really think Justin Bieber necessarily is a marketing god, is a business guru. So I worry he's the one making all the calls.
He seems to have fired everyone from his inner circle. We know that for a fact, that he has fired everyone who's been with him since day one. And granted, there might have been very valid reasons for some of those cuts of ties. But when you're doing that to everyone, including best friends of yours, including security guards, heads of security, PR directors. I mean, we all know about Scooter Braun, but all these other intricate little players, that's not great. And the way his album didn't, I mean, yes, it blew up the charts the day it came out. Of course it did. It's Justin Bieber. There's precedence there. But I by no means can tell you anyone who can name more than 2 songs on that album.
Yeah.
Daisies and Yukon. That's all I got. And that's because they're both on social media a lot. Like, it's wild.
And I don't know, because I mean, I did do a deep dive into it at one point, but the writers on Daisy are pop writers. And I can't remember if that holds true on the other songs. But like, you need a writer. You're not a writer. You just aren't. You've never been. People have written your music for you and you perform it well. Do that.
Amen.
Amen.
Speaking of pop kings and queens, imagine heading out to see Lady Gaga and minutes before Mayhem Ball is about to start, you get a note. Hey, everyone, I'm really so sorry, but I need to postpone tonight's show in Miami. My voice is extremely strained. Both my doctor and vocal coach have advised me not to go on because of the risk it poses.
Oh, that's a hard one.
She said, I wanted to be hardcore and just push through for you, which this is Gaga. We know she means that. Like,
I know.
She genuinely would break her vocal cords for one performance.
She's such a theater kid.
She is.
She would make sure the show would go on. We know. She's never set a precedent because Kendall and Mike, I always go to a place of how dare you? Because I'm an average Joe or an average Jill, and I get a babysitter, especially if I flew out to Miami. I have to get dog sitters. I don't have a lot of PTO. I don't have a lot of time off. I don't have a lot of monies to fly and go out to the things and buy the concerts. Like, you go, this is really hard. Like, so, but I do have to say she has enough credit from just like always her can do, the show must go on vibe, where I go, wow, it must have really been awful. And they must have made the last call because she was trying to make it work.
Yeah, she said that they very much were clear that this could risk long-term or permanent damage to her vocal cords. And we know what happened to Adele. Yeah. Adele maybe didn't necessarily push too hard on one specific show, but she pushed her vocal cords too hard, had to take a few years off of music just to basically build those vocal cord muscles after all the nodes in her vocal cords. And like, she can still sing. She's Adele, but there is just something a little bit different about her sound now.
Yeah.
Good or bad, there is. It's different. Gaga doesn't want to do that.
Yeah.
It's also different, too, because she performed in Miami 2 days before this, 3 days before this, and then had a day off and then just realized I can't do it. Plus, she's super busy. We just found out she is going to be performing, kind of, at the VMAs. That was the big headline you see everywhere. Little dirty secret. She's got a concert the same night as the VMAs, so she is not going to be performing live at the VMAs, despite what every tabloid wants you to believe right now and what the trades want you to believe right now. So it's going to be some sort of a recorded performance, or they're going to do it live from Madison Square Garden. She's going to be in New York as well, but she has a show that starts 40 minutes after the VMAs start.
No way.
So there's no way she's there.
Mike, do you remember last year, the VMAs, it was like exclusively pre-recorded.
Yes.
And then we had the big AMAs issue when it was Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani, their performance. Everyone's in the arena like, I know what you guys are seeing on TV. We're watching this.
That's what it was.
On a big screen from 3 days earlier.
That's hilarious. And they even had like 4 people in the audience kind of cosplaying as like, oh yeah, we're watching.
They did the audience shots, and it was just like 17 people like fist bumping, and probably all the sound engineers and stuff.
Like, yeah, the makeup artist. We need you out here.
Might as well put like a Sims team behind them.
I love that for all of us.
So she's got a massive weekend coming up. The 6th, she's got a show at Madison Square Garden. The 7th, so the Saturday and Sunday, she's got 2 shows, and then also this performance. So rest up, feel better.
When your voice starts going, man, there is no choice. I mean, you have to stop.
Yeah, that is her moneymaker.
Yeah. Okay, Channing Tatum is talking about how losing so much weight for his latest film, Roof Man, made him so sad. So it wasn't so much for him the process of losing the weight. He's one of those guys that loses and gains weight for any role. But this time, the role he took on was in this movie, The Roof Man, where he lives in a Toys R Us for 6 months while he's escaping prison. I've seen this trailer a couple times now.
Wait, what? He lives in the
ceiling.
Toys R Us
Yeah,
ceiling. Got
he
it.
lives in the ceiling of a Toys R Us. It's actually based on a true story, which is wild.
I figured this had to be true because this is wild.
Yeah, the guy used to rob McDonald's because he figured out how to break into the roofs of all these McDonald's, and then he would steal everything, and then he got arrested for it. Then he broke out, I believe, of prison or was out of prison, and then lived in the Toys R Us to hide.
For 6 months.
For 6 months.
For 6 months. And so he had to lose quite a bit of weight for this. He started out with the goal of getting down to 185. He said, I had only planned to get down to 185. And then just once I was already going, and just the days of shooting, it kept coming off. And I got down to like 172. And for him, that's wild because he still has the muscles. Mm-hmm. Like, that's pretty slim for him. He talked about how his mental health really suffered. He said it was sort of an emptiness and a sadness to it. I would just see myself and I would seem hollow. And the movie, a lot for me, was a lot of loneliness and a real meditation of that wanting to be full and trying to fill an empty vessel. The emptiness feelings suck after a little while.
That was depressing.
I know.
But also accurate. I have never lost 50 pounds other than after I had a baby.
Same.
But you do go I've been on some extreme, probably not healthy diets in my early 20s, late teens, trying to get into that nice dress that was 2 sizes too small. I will say, although you look cinched, you look great, or whatever you want to say about yourself, you don't feel great.
You know what I think it is too, is if you're really doing the extreme weight loss.
Yes.
Is it's lonely because you can't 99% of our social outings are based around food.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go, well, I don't want to, you have that mindset of all or nothing. When you have that mindset of all or nothing, it's lonely because you can't do any of that stuff.
Right.
So I get it.
I get it. Also, Channing, to be very clear, we like you any size. You're beautiful. The end of statement.
Yeah, I think he knows that too. I think he even talked about then he didn't like the way he even looked at that small a weight too, and how that felt like an emptiness as well. Okay, we got to talk about Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, as we know, got engaged just recently, but we didn't know the timeline. Well, it's official. The timeline is exactly what Kendall Mark has predicted. They got engaged the day of the recording of the New Heights podcast. As we know, Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce have a podcast called New Heights, which they were lucky enough, thank goodness for this relationship, to get Taylor Swift on her first and only podcast interview. Later that day, we found out from actually Ed Kelce making the rounds that it was that day Travis Kelce took Taylor Swift. They were supposed to go to dinner. They made a stop where he asked her to marry her. Now, there was a lot of speculation around this. A lot of Swifties got super involved with zooming into the megapixels of it all to see that she's got a little indent on her head from wearing headphones. To which I also say she records a lot, so she could
That's true.
But I loved it. And Kendall, you made so many good points on why this would be a great time to ask someone to marry you.
Oh, yeah. They're both in a place where they're really comfortable. They're at a home studio. She's going to have full glam. Not like crazy, but she's going to look good because her people are going to be like, you're going to be on camera for this. It's perfect because he knows she doesn't have plans afterwards and he doesn't have to make it awkward because they're like, let's grab a bite to eat after this. I'll go get ready. You go get ready. I'll see you in a little bit. Meanwhile, he's got his team making this landscaping, this beautiful vision board of folklore, basically in the backyard of the Applebee's down the street. They go there, look it, voila. She's got hair and makeup set. He's got time to plan the big thing, and he doesn't have to make it a big deal like, oh, we're going to go have a big fancy dinner, make sure you look good. She's going to look good anyway.
I love it.
It was perfect.
And there's a lot of going around now. We went out a week out from this podcast. We had another podcast from the New Heights now with the fiance. Travis Kelce loves talking about his new fiance and is loving. He said it's been really fun telling everybody who I'm going to be spending the rest of my life with.
Oh, like, have you met my girl, Taylor?
My fiance. He loves saying the word. He was really excited about it. He talks about how cool it is to call someone your fiance. And he got to do it to his teammates. It was the first time me introducing Taylor as my fiance to a few of my teammates. And when they were asking about what kind of advice do you have around popping the question, he made it very clear. You got to know your gal. Mm-hmm. You can't let how someone else does something make you feel about how the way you got to do it. And you might be able to get some ideas for how other people did it. It might get the creative juices flowing, but know your partner. Know who you're doing it for. Everything else will be beautiful. And I thought that was great advice. Like, Kendall's engagement would never be my engagement, would never be Mike's engagement.
Mm-hmm. Oh, totally. And I'm sure there were a lot of people with a lot of thoughts on how he should propose to the one and only Taylor Swift. I mean, all of us being average human beings have a lot of people that weigh in on what they think that your wedding should look like, what they think your birthday should look like, what you should have your engagement ring and engagement look like. So got to know your thing. I think he is accurate in that they were likely not in Hollywood. I don't know where Travis records his podcast. I'm guessing it's near Kansas City. Maybe it's in Ohio.
Could be Florida. I'm sure he's got a few studios, and I know they've been in Florida. But if he was at training camp, he said he was introducing her to the team.
Yeah,
I don't know where they're at.
Not L.A. or New York.
Yeah.
This is going to be somewhere where there's not a bunch of paparazzi. There's going to be somewhere where he can do this privately and quietly, and that is probably exactly what she wanted because they ended up announcing it weeks later. So they got to have that private moment, which I think is so important. Like, we got engaged in Yosemite National Park, no service. So number one, my family was like, did she say no? Like, after 2 days of not hearing from us. But it was really sweet because my now husband and I just got to like not worry about the pressure of, oh yeah, we haven't called so-and-so yet. Oh yeah, we never text so-and-so. Should we send them a picture? Because, that takes a while after you get engaged, telling everybody and their mother that you're engaged and answering all those questions.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice to be like, let's just have it be our little thing for a minute. And they got to do that as very famous people who would have to answer a lot of questions.
It's really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Taylor Swift now officially has an open invite to do Super Bowl halftime show, to which I say, duh. But in case you was wondering, the NFL commissioner, Roger Goodell, finally said, yeah, she's welcomed anytime. He was making the rounds, and he definitely said that we have an open invite for Taylor Swift to play. And I laughed because, again, duh.
Like, I'm sorry. I'm sure she was concerned. I'm sure she thought, will they have me?
Yeah. Yeah. She goes, is this something they'd be interested in?
I've never even done God Bless America or the national anthem. I don't know if I'm in their rotation yet.
There's a lot of talk around if she would or wouldn't. This might be Travis Kelce's last season. So there's a lot of questions around, would this be appropriate? Even if she said yes, what are the chances that the Kansas City Chiefs make it into the Super Bowl again? Is it taking away his shine? There's so many conversations, even though, I think Mike right now, she's the front runner for most betting things, is that she would be it, right? Am I wrong?
Odds on she is the favorite, but I also agree with you. And there's just no reason I think she would do this before he retires.
Yeah.
Again, like the example I've used in the past is if the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills, which is very likely, are playing each other in the AFC Championship game with a trip to the Super Bowl on the line, and the Kansas City Chiefs lose that game, then Taylor Swift is performing at the Super Bowl. That they're not going to be. It doesn't feel right, and it doesn't feel like I'd want to be fully engaged in my partner's final game. So even if they did make the Super Bowl, last thing I want to be worried about is how's the performance going to look? How are the stage going to be coming together? Where do I have to be at what time? She doesn't want to be worried about hitting her marks when she's watching her soon-to-be husband play probably the final game of his career.
But she can hit a mark even with a broken heart.
True. I will say this too, is there's we should talk about this on the podcast. She's had so much fun learning football, watching football. Yeah. I don't think she would sacrifice that for something that she could do another year and not be watching, like you said, enjoying watching her fiance play. And how fun. That's my fiance. It has a different vibe than I'm watching my boyfriend play football to I'm watching my fiance play football.
Well, if you're watching this on YouTube or listening on our Hot to Go podcast, we have a full show, by the way, called the Brittany and Kendall Show. We discussed this, who we thought would be the Super Bowl halftime performers yesterday on Wednesday. That is on the third hour of the podcast of the BK Show. Or you can just weigh in. I picked Taylor Swift.
I know
if you agree with me, and like these wannabe fake Swifties to my left and right, please drop a comment because we could be right. The odds on favorite. The odds are ever in our favor. That's all I'm going to say.
There you go.
All right. This is officially a couple. According to Page Six, Zoe Kravitz and Harry Styles have confirmed their romance by flying under the radar or trying to fly under the radar. They were in Brooklyn, New York, walking around the Williamsburg neighborhood and walking, holding hands, laughing, being very casual. They are definitely a couple to anyone who saw them out walking in these streets.
Right?
To which I say, I think Zoe Kravitz could be a couple with just about anybody at this point.
I know.
Like, are we so desperate for this woman to couple herself off that we can't acknowledge that maybe, just maybe, she was engaged? She was in a relationship for 3 years to Channing Tatum.
Yep.
They broke up and maybe, just maybe, she's playing the field. I don't know about you, but when I would go on dates with people, sometimes I'd hold their hand. That didn't mean we were in a relationship.
Yeah, 1,000%. I think that this makes sense that she would be playing the field. Also, I cannot agree with you more. She is, I'm trying to think of a staple. She is the leather coat of women. You can put her on with anybody and she's going to make them look good. Yeah.
I know. I sorry, but I agree with you 100%. I think that Harry Styles also gives he could be my best friend and I'd probably make out with him and hold his hand.
I know.
And he'd just be my best friend.
I know.
So can we just acknowledge that about Harry Styles too?
But the idea that they did it in public, they wanted people to know.
Further than that, they've now made the call and
insiders
have taken to TMZ. We have word of this relationship now. And I shouldn't say relationship now. We have word that the internet, of course, losing their mind about whether the two of them are together. Sources familiar with the situation tell TMZ. And again, we all know what that means. Calls come from inside the house. The actress and the singer are merely just hooking up. They're defining the relationship as friends with benefits.
Great.
So there you go.
Friends with bennies.
Like you guys said, that's exactly what is going on right now. And it's no shock to anybody.
I mean, she was just, quote unquote, in a relationship, being seen with definitely together with Austin Butler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And hey, side note, guys, they were promoting a movie because the actual promotions team in the movie did nothing to promote the movie. These two had to pretend they were in a relationship.
Nobody knows the name of this movie. And
Caught
I know.
stealing.
No, I know.
I had to think, though, really hard.
I know it's caught stealing because we talk about it, but I'm telling you, I've literally had this conversation where people go, isn't that one movie with Austin Butler? Nobody can remember the name. Mm-hmm. It's so funny. Test somebody in your life. Ask if they know what it is. They'll create. It's not sticky. It doesn't stick in your brain. And also, like Kendall said, they really relied on, Zoe Kravitz and Austin Butler being out and about is enough for the marketing budget.
Being making out in a trailer area where the movie was shot.
Yeah.
I'm about to say something that I don't think the two of you even knew.
What?
Bad Bunny's in this freaking movie.
What?
Nobody even knows that. They've never talked about that. Bad Bunny is in this movie.
What the hell?
He's one of the biggest stars in it. It's not like a cameo. He's this role of Colorado in it. Like, he is in this movie, and we really never saw that promoted or talked about at all.
That's as insane as us having Bad Bunny on this show and not leading with that.
Well, and casually being like, so for our next segment, Bad Bunny's coming up. Like, what?
What?
Who are you? You think you're Howard Stern? You can't get away with that.
You cannot. Like, hello.
That's insane.
Well, I guess it didn't work because it's not doing well right now in the theaters. But I haven't heard any reviews on the actual movie.
The reviews are actually really good. 84% audience score, 84% critic score over on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
I hate when that happens.
People seem to like it.
So sorry.
It'll be a slow burn.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it'll make its money back because we should reward good movies. Hey, and reward us. If you love Hot to Go, and I know you do, please like, subscribe, share, do all the things. We'd love you to comment. We will comment back.